Everyone, welcome to Around the Diamond. I'm joined by Rhett. Rhett, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
And I'm doing good. And for the first time, Jack. Jack, how are you doing?
Doing good, Brian. Thanks for having me.
I'm very excited to talk some baseball. This is the second episode of our Around the Diamond reboot. Last time was really Red Sox heavy. This time we're going to try to touch on more teams, starting off with the Red Sox rival, who had a piece of news that I thought was a little earth-shattering.
Top 5 news all time, honestly.
Yeah.
Might be.
Easily.
Yeah, Rhett, take this away. Explain what's happening. Explain why this is so surprising.
I never thought I'd see the day. The Yankees are nothing but talking about their history. And for whatever reason, out of the blue, I mean, Devin Williams, this is the thing that's so weird about it. Devin Williams shaved his beard. And then 3 days later, Steinbrenner comes out with, well, after a lot of deep thought and talking to a lot of old Yankee people, we've decided that we'll allow well-groomed beards. I don't know what that means. What is well-groomed?
Yeah, how was that?
Mike Napoli's not on that team. I get that. But what is well-groomed?
Yeah, I don't know. It's got to be, I guess, tight and, have a little beard comb in between innings. Make sure that it's looking good. But
I mean, we had to go through a year. Maybe. I thought last year might be the catalyst with having to look at Verdugo's cheeks. He did not have a great beard, but he looked worse without a beard.
It was, yeah. We learned quickly. I think that's probably what it was, right? We can agree on that. It was Verdugo's cheeks, and I think everybody feels that way. So, I mean, also, I hate this. I don't like Garrett Cole anyways, but seeing the before and after that is obviously like the bastardized version of like post-shave Garrett Cole. It's like, oh yeah, that's also why. I get it.
He looked awful when he shaved.
Terrible.
He looked awful.
And Rougned Odor was another one, right? A couple notable Yankee beards that had to go away. Oh God, just disgusting.
And all of them were like not the best beards, and then the beards went away, and you went, "Oh, that's why you did it."
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense.
There are a lot of guys out there that really mask how ugly they are with their beards, and unfortunately, a lot of
that's me every time I shave. I'm like, why did I do that?
Why did I do that? There's like, a baby face under here. I don't want this. How do I have no chin? Did you guys see Derek Jeter posted an AI picture of him with a beard?
No.
In Yankee garb. It was not a great beard, and it looked wrong. It just looked wrong. He needed to be shaved. We got it right with him.
Good.
Yeah, right.
It helps some people. I'm sure A-Rod would have looked rough too, to be quite honest. But that's.
I can't even imagine what kind of beard A-Rod could hit.
It's patchy, I'm sure, or like the goatee only style. Like,
I don't know. Could have had a killer beard with all those extra hormones he had.
I was gonna say, depends. Yeah, some thick strands coming in.
I think A-Rod missed out. He could have had the goatee and just been like, it really embraced like the evil when he was like the villain of baseball.
True.
That would have been very fun.
That would have been good.
Yeah, not everyone can be Johnny Damon, who's like looks great with the beard and long hair, and then has like a chiseled jaw. Also, when he's not like some players, it's like, yeah, we understand, and we're coming from that place too. To all of them, it's like, yeah, I would also just have a beard if I was playing.
Johnny,
wondering if
did you guys see the video Damon released actually on his stance on this? Because it was quite hot. The hot take was, well, one, I think he was on Royal Caribbean Cruise when he posted this, and he was probably he definitely had the unlimited drink package. I can say that for sure. The man was absolutely. He was pissed. He was very upset that they were getting rid of this, but for the reason, like, ironically, as he has his locks back and his beard is back, he was very upset. So definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it, because the man is blending all of his words into one as he's speaking. But you know what he's getting at.
Was he upset because they made him do it and now they changed it, or what?
No, he was upset because he feels like it's tradition, which he was like, I was happy to do it. Like I did it the first day, and I was like, this is not the take that I expected. But then that's also coming from the guy who
from the leader of the idiots.
Exactly.
This is not what I was expecting.
No, me either. It actually validates his title, I think, a little bit better. But I do.
Like, let's remember what this was. This was a George Steinbrenner power trip. And it's just gone on for so long that now we say it's history.
Right.
But it was just some asshole owner deciding how players get to do stuff, which is a tale as old as baseball. But it's not the worst thing in the world that it's gone now.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Although I do want to see the fallout when someone doesn't have a well-kept beard and is then told to shave it. I want to see what that looks like.
I need the guideline. I need
He's
the
going to be the first one to like push it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, he's trying to get away with it.
Yeah, not for you, man. We weren't talking about you.
I hope it's a terrible beard too. I hope it's like not even worth it. You know, it's not like a Rougned Odor. It's just like it is like a Garrett Cole who just grows it out a little bit too far and a little bit like hasn't shaved in like a week. And there's like the obvious like length differential from like here to here. Like, that's what I'm waiting for.
Right.
I don't know. Not that I'm good enough to be on the Yankees, but I don't connect. They may be like, no, get that out of here.
Yeah, is that well kept enough?
Doesn't connect. Got to get out there. Get a Sharpie. Try to just
like, get it in there. The wood touch-up Sharpie, the brown ones.
There you go.
Get it in there. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's hilarious. Well, anything else on this topic? Just thought we had to touch on it,
This is going to be a developing story throughout the season.
Yeah. We'll be following along all season with it. So I guess from that that's kind of a fun story. This next story, not as fun, obviously, with one of the major hurricanes that came through this summer. Tropicana Field was basically destroyed. And that's forced the Rays to play in a minor league stadium. And then, the stadium wasn't destroyed. Some people say maybe it should have been destroyed because the Coliseum was so horrible. But the A's are no longer playing in Oakland, and they're playing in Sacramento in a minor league stadium. And I guess just like, Jack, we'll start with you. Thoughts on these two teams? Obviously, two different reasons, but these two teams playing in these minor league stadiums right now.
I think I can't even call them the Oakland A's, right? They're just the A's now, as far as we're concerned.
Can't call them Sacramento either.
They're not. They're just
very
the A's.
tight on that.
They're the A's, the American A's, and they are, I guess, willfully. Do we really know what's next for them? Like, is there an agreement in place for Las Vegas or anything? No. Okay, I know that
the owner is convinced that they're going to go to Las Vegas, but I don't think there's pen to paper on anything.
I would say I don't think Las Vegas is convinced they're coming to Las Vegas, right? That's kind of, I thought there was a little bit of a tumultuous relationship there. I remember that at least last year. And I think you're right, Rhett. I haven't heard anything that's like, oh yeah, this is official. So interesting. That'll be, I'm sure, to be honest, they still may generate more fans in Sacramento than they did in Oakland, but I think that's more out of just disdain for ownership. We'll see about that. I think for the Rays, I've driven by Tropicana because I'm down here in Florida, right? And that place it's trashed, right? And obviously nothing has really been done. You've seen the talks on, are they going to rebuild? Are they going to build the new stadium? Like kind of what's happening. So I don't know. I mean, I know they're playing ironically at Steinbrenner Field down here. So I think if that's going to be, again, maybe not the most crowd generating team out there, but still it's like, what are we, if we're Major League Baseball, we can't find any stadium to either generate fans or generate like a legitimate home field for these teams. Like to me, it doesn't seem right, but extenuating circumstances for one, and just really piss poor ownership and planning for the other.
It's piss poor ownership, absolutely, for Oakland. I've been to the Trop. I found it better in person than it looks on the field.
That is true.
It's still the Trop, and it's still not making the top of anyone's baseball list. But when it comes to Oakland was seen as being in a large market. And because they were in a large market, they didn't get the revenue sharing that they thought that they should get.
Yeah.
Vegas is a small market, even though it's Vegas, because no one lives in Vegas. Mm-hmm. So that's why they want so badly to move there. Baseball has to figure out this revenue sharing.
Yeah.
Yes. Because that's exactly what it is. It's just about money. The Coliseum used to be packed. It was packed 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
Over the last decade, they have systematically destroyed any reason to go to the Coliseum. They won't repair anything. The Raiders left. Now the Athletics are leaving. And it's baseball should not have allowed this to happen. And if we're going to have the rules that baseball has where you can come in, you can choose who can be an owner, and you have to get vetted, and you can get your team taken away from you. How is this not a perfect example of a team that deserves to be taken away?
Yep.
I don't get it. And when it comes to Tampa, man, I don't understand why Tampa and the Rays have the relationship that they do. They were talking about the Ybor City Stadium. I know they didn't want to spend the money. I'm not saying that Tampa should have shelled out the money by any means. But again, we're now back to, the city of Tampa has reversed their decision to fix the Rays field.
Right.
It's $23 million. Major League Baseball can't pay that. We just paid a right fielder $800 million. What are we talking about? Like, fix the roof. That's the look that's bad. The looks that bad is that we're expecting the city to pay out for that.
Right.
It took so long to come to that decision too, and not even come to that decision. Just there still is contention on whether or not they're going to do it, which is what I think. I saw that the city of Tampa released something where they, again, it's closer to me, so I see this all the time, but they're gonna use the bed taxes of people coming down and using that to then pay for part of the roof repair. But that still is not going to be ready until the beginning of 2026, and that's when, as ownership, I get it. I understand not wanting to pay for that, but at the same time, who's a $23 million player per year right now? That's what we have to think about. Nick Pivetta is going to be making that in 3 years. I hate to say it, but that's where
3 years qualifying offers or what?
His qualifying offer was
$20 million.
Yeah, exactly. His qualifying offer was that amount of money. Major League Baseball can shell that out, right? Especially with all their freaking the streaming services deals that they're going to try to pull now.
And you got to make your money back. If you can't make your money back in the 5 years between now and when they think their new stadium's going to be opened,
that's a different.
What are we talking about? What are we even talking?
That's a different issue.
Right. No, it's disappointing to be sure. And you said they're going to use the bed taxes. Is that what you said, Jack?
Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, it's pretty much if somebody when you go and stay at a place, if you're going on a trip somewhere, the city typically has a city tax sort of thing, and that's anytime you stay at a hotel or an Airbnb, for example, the city has a right to impose a tax on that. So it's not much typically per bed, but it'll be it could be anywhere from maybe $10 to $40 per person. So that adds up, obviously. That's sort of the benefit of living in a touristy location, whereas somebody maybe like Oakland, for example, isn't going to get that much in bed revenue or bed tax revenue.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Interesting. I wasn't aware of that, so I'm glad you were able to kind of explain it for anyone else who maybe had not heard of that either. But yeah, should be interesting.
Yeah.
No, this is really good. Rhett, anything else you wanted to add on this topic?
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of research on the new stadium real quick, and it looks like back in December, the county commission, Pinellas County, if I'm pronouncing that right.
That's it.
Approved paying in part for the new stadium 5-2. They're paying $312 million of the $1.3 billion stadium.
Then even
it's
more
going to be
fix the field.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You say you want to be here, then prove it. Let's actually be here.
Yep.
So I guess this kind of is a good bridge to our next topic, because we were just talking about the revenue share and the potential streaming, I guess, rights of these various, because everything's moved away from cable, right? And there's not a better example of that than ESPN doing away with Sunday Night Baseball. That's been a thing as long as I can remember, as long as I've been a conscious being. So, Rhett, what are your feelings on ESPN and the MLB kind of breaking up here?
I think nostalgia is the reason why this one hit the way it did. I think, in all honesty, this breakup's been coming for a long time. It's almost like when two people both know that the other person's sleeping with somebody else, and now they just finally get around to divorcing. Because that's what it feels like. ESPN has not cared about baseball for years. We know that. They're making money off what they care about. Good for them. But they have not cared about baseball for years. And ESPN has been shopping around. They're on Apple TV now. They've been doing some other things. I feel like this was coming. The mudslinging and vitriol that's come by, it's mutual, it's not mutual. That's a little bit much for me, but I feel like we actually were thinking logically.
Yeah, Jack, what are your feelings on this?
I think Rhett is spot on, where it's they're sleeping with each other, but now you're at the point where they are breaking up, and it's sort of oh, this is ugly. People are going to be, you remember that time 2 years ago when you did this thing, and it's sort of going back and forth on that. Probably will we'll continue to see sort of the mudslinging into the season, if I had to guess. But I think it'll be interesting. Selfishly, as a Red Sox fan who lives outside of market, I can see a lot of the Red Sox games, except for the ones where we're playing Tampa on MLB TV. So I want to know, for whatever new streaming services come into play here, like what sort of exclusivity agreement are we going to have in place? So again, selfishly, as an out-of-market Red Sox fan, like that allows me to still watch baseball games, or really for you guys, like who live in market, how do you watch the Red Sox games?
I'm out of market.
You can't.
I'm not a market. I do MLB TV. I live on MLB TV.
That's me too down here.
I'm fully with you. I don't think they're going to touch MLB TV. The improvements that have been made with MLB TV, I think, have been very good. MLB beginning is one of the best things that's happened.
Yes.
I think that they're going to make more money on that than what anyone's going to commit to. I feel like this is indicative of the biggest problem that MLB has. In the middle of the summer, you were the only one playing games.
Yep.
How can you not get a big commitment out of someone? You look at what ESPN, and I kind of understand why ESPN walked away. It's $550 million. They had 30 regular season games on Sunday night, the wild card postseason series, the home run derby, and 10 spring training games. 10?
That's pretty brutal.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot for $550 million.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Especially with how well Apple TV's done with Friday Night Baseball.
Yes.
Right.
It's no one was doing a good job here. ESPN, not ESPN, MLB has known this for a little while. I disagree sometimes on the way that they think that they should be fixing it, but they are trying to fix it. And I think not being beholden to this will help. What I'm worried about, just like Jack, I have Apple TV because thankfully I like a bunch of their shows. Yeah. But if we start going to Friday and Sunday night baseball being on Apple TV, that was just something else I have to go by.
Right.
Yep.
So,
yeah. Do you guys? So the Friday Night Baseball was a 3-year, $535 million contract to air, Friday night baseball games. Do you see another network? Peacock, I know, has been getting into sports. They have the Olympics package. YouTube TV has Sunday Ticket now. What do you think, like, the next, streaming service might be? Or do you think the MLB is going to be like, look, we're going to do this all in-house. We're going to go all in on the MLB TV. Rhett, take it from there.
I think the baseball is going to be a little bit of a long-winded answer, but I'm going to get there, believe me. Baseball is one of those things where it has been so old. Like, regional sports markets developed because of baseball.
Yeah.
Nesson was the thing, like, that was a baseball thing. And then you saw Bally Sports try to incorporate a lot of them. Fox had a lot of them too, where they would have their own regional, but they would be the Fox network. We've seen the issues that Bally's had. We've seen some of the issues that Fox had. I mean, MLB receives an average of $730 million from Fox, another $470 from Turner. I think they might want to stay diversified and stay with the MLB TV platform, because that seems to be it's a different game. It's not like we're going to have an NFL where CBS and Fox split the rights down the middle, and NBC, split the rights down the middle, and then all take turns having the Super Bowl. I don't think you're necessarily going to see that, but I could also see MLB going like the college conference route, where we need to find an ESPN or a Fox or a CBS that is going to market a Fox MLB network, and that's where you go and get that version of MLB TV that's now more like Sunday Ticket or what have you. I could see it going both ways. It depends on what offer they get, because they're going to go after the most money.
I think I land with your first comment, Rhett. Like, I think option one seems to be the most likely, and maybe that's just because I feel like the diversity, any sort of, like, if you talk finances, right, you talk about stocks, you talk about whatever, any sort of investing, you're diversifying your income streams, right? That makes me think that they're going to try to get sort of the same thing the NFL is doing, the same thing the NBA is doing, right? Just diversify, and then take your revenue income, take your pay cut from, or your percentage payout from whatever, Apple TV, probably not Nesson, but you know what I mean, like, or ESPN rather. But like, that's kind of how you're gonna, I think, make the most money, or at least like make the most stable amount of money. So I don't like it as a viewer, I think, is the problem. But the question is, are they going to care about the viewer? I think at the end of the day, and that's like, do they care about making money? We know the answer is yes, but like, what percentage of their care goes into how accessible is this for all of your viewers?
I still think that, and I've said this before, maybe not on this channel, but I still think we're looking about this the wrong way. I am an out of market Red Sox fan. I have never lived in market. I'm a Red Sox fan because Brian and my grandmother was one of the biggest Red Sox fans on the planet. And I didn't have a choice. I still have the little baby Red Sox hat that got shipped out to Denver when I was born because you're just born into it. I have spent so much money on Red Sox gear. I spent a ton of money to go to the World Series in 2018.
Oh, love that.
I try to go to at least a couple games a season. All of that is because I have MLB TV.
Yep.
You are going to make more money off of the fact that I buy my kids Red Sox gear and turn them into fans because of MLB TV than you're ever going to make off of a subscription package. We need to do away with blackouts, and we need to make baseball super accessible.
Yep.
If we do that, people will start watching it. It's that simple.
100%.
It's so easy for me to find a basketball game on TV. It just is, and it should be that easy to find a baseball game. But it's not, because Yes has to have theirs, and SNY has to have theirs, and we have to have blackouts and diversifying. Blacking out of Yankee Stadium all you want. It's 2.5 hours. I'm not going to the game because I can watch it on TV. I'm in Albany. I can't go. All right. I think this is so. I still think we're thinking about it backwards. We got to fix that. And if that means that we're not getting $730 million from Fox, fine. But I bet you see that pickup in money, especially with what tickets cost.
It's a volume.
What jerseys cost. Yeah. It's a volume.
At least you have to fix it somehow. And if you start by making it accessible to all of these folks, that's when you start to do the same thing that you're talking about, Rhett. That's when people start to buy more things. People get exposed to the game more. It's just that exposure, I think, right now, because I think, and you hear all the time, especially the last decade or so, baseball's dead, blah, blah, blah. It's because it's not accessible to people.
Mm-hmm.
If we can up that, we'll be in a good place.
I think that's a really good point. Like, I'm in a bad situation because I'm in market, but I have YouTube TV because I use it for Sunday Ticket.
But you shouldn't be.
I can't watch Nesson because they don't agree. Yeah.
We were not totally legal, but we had your dad using Nesson, using YouTube TV, and we called the Hubbardston the home account so that we could get Nesson.
Yep.
And then we just gave up because then they dropped Nesson. It's like, okay, now there's no point in having YouTube TV at all. And now I'm over on Fubo, which still doesn't have Nesson, but has a bunch of other things, and then I get MLB TV. I put all those together, and now I can watch all the games.
Yeah. So I don't think I could watch the Red Sox on MLB TV, right? Based on where I live. So it's like,
I can show you the ways.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk.
Legally, no. Legally, no.
I watched a lot of Celtics games. I'll say that. So, and I live in Florida, but I understood.
Well, that's the thing. It's great because NBC Sports Boston has the Celtics, so I can watch them. But the Bruins and Red Sox right now, I'm out of luck. Hopefully, we'll fix that between now and the next episode of Around the Diamond.
Should at least be able to plug in what your TV provider is. And then be like, oh, see, you're not even blacked out there. We'll let you watch.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was definitely a thing that I was like, oh, they'll figure it out. They'll definitely get this sorted out. It's been years.
Yeah.
I guess it's just not coming back. Okay. Great. And right now on the eve of Survivor, they're also apparently going to drop CBS. So that's great.
I don't see them actually dropping CBS.
There's no.
That's not a regional sports channel. That's a big one.
Yeah, right before March Madness too.
I feel like that's just not happening. Yeah. No way.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But I thought this was a great episode. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we get on out of here?
Bregman hit a ball to the moon today. That made
me
very happy.
Over everything. Second at bat.
Second at bat over everything. And honestly, he probably should have had a second. It was a really, really high double, but it might have been
double's
off the top of the wall. Off the top of the wall. It might have actually been out.
Up the slugging percentage. That's fine.
He's going to be good with that Green Monster. He's going to be very good.
We knew that. Second highest OBP overall for a visiting player at Fenway? Yeah. So.
All right. So, Rhett, anything you want to promote before we get out of here?
Yeah. Catch me over Swinging at Shins, where we do everything Premier League soccer, as well as the USL episode that we did over on the main channel.
Doing pretty
promotion and
well.
relegation coming to America. Europe does have good things, guys. We can steal a couple of things.
We can take a couple, yeah. Well, at least the
Scotch whiskey and promotion and relegation. Everything else, Europeans coming.
That's all you need. All right. Please go check those out. And Jack, anything you want to promote?
Definitely watch our basketball segment as well, which is at the buzzer. You've got Brian, myself, and Ryan Flynn as well. So shout out Ryan, shout out Brian. We got a lot of stuff going on there all the time. We're in the midst of the NBA season, whereas here we're just getting kicked off. So also follow me on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. It's Jack_Tiernan. You will find me tweeting like a madman, typically with hot takes on something about NBA or MLB. So
we just did a Bayou breakdown. It's going to be
right. We did.
By the time this comes out, it'll be on. I'm thinking I'm just going to put this up on Tuesday as a full episode and break out the 3 topics as their own videos. Do like a bonus episode this week.
Yeah.
Because, this felt like a very full, big episode. And if I do other topics, the episode will be like an hour long, which is not what I've been trying to do with these. So I think that'll be fun. And this was a really great time. Thank you guys so much for joining me to talk about some baseball. I'm very excited for this summer, especially if we can get it figured out where I can actually watch the games. I'm really going to be excited. But
I already sent a link to you. Don't worry.
Appreciate it. But please subscribe to the channel if you liked it, if you're looking forward to more baseball, MLS, Premier League, NFL, NBA, NHL. They'll all be here. So please check that out. Main channel is Wicked Good Everything. I just put up a video about my experience playing Kingdom Come Deliverance so far. It's doing really well. So please go check that out if you're interested in stuff like that. Those Fake Nerds for pop culture news updates, kind of like this, but for video games and movies and stuff. And then the podcasting channel for all of our podcasts that don't have to do with sports is Better Radio. We will see you all in the next one.